Hey fellas, Rusty coming at you. Today we're going to be taking a look at a pretty legendary knife, and this is the Kizer Gemini. And here we are in July of 2024, and the Gemini, well, Kizer just celebrated their 11th anniversary, and I was able to pick this up in N690 blade steel and micarta. I think it's going to say it right here, for like 43 bucks. I think we had free shipping. So wow. My very first thing about this was the snappiness of the flipper. Just loving it. My second thing I noticed that you're just obvious is just the I've suspected it for a couple years. Just the sliciness. It's a full flat grind, and it got pretty decent blade stock, and I'll get to that in a minute. And a pretty decent, what do you call that? Stop pin there. Does have some lightning holes. I mean, drilled out. Let's see if we can see those. Right there. Amazing micarta. It's, if you like dry micarta, it's very felt-like. It's not smooth, it's felty. So we're going to bring out some comparison knives, try to keep this thing short. What do we want to do first? Well, we'll compare. One of my favorite knives is the Kizer Pelican. This is one of the more underrated knives, and I really just want to bring this out. You guys probably don't have it. And we'll just kind of compare the different styles of micarta and so on. And you can see after using this for a while, what will happen. And these Kizer just has magic juice. Now this one may not do it because it's got a pretty light, what are we calling that? Blade. But we're taking a look right now at a difference in the micartas. And I've grabbed a bunch of Kizers in dark gray micarta. So they all are a little bit different. I got a Baglighter Tanto. Oh wait, maybe I have the Doman. I don't even know. I got the Kizer Task, the T1. Taking a look. Take a look at the blade stock. So it is relatively thick, but it comes down to very, very, very slicey. So with that, we're going to bring out a knife I got before the Gemini, and this is an Asher. And Asher did the Asher Spiral flipper. And there's nothing fancy about these, and he did them, and this one was called a second and was 40 bucks. And it's got S35 VN steel. And I really like this knife. It's got really good ergos. And I just for an EDC, it's just got a great blade shape and great ergonomics. What it's lacking is great flipping action. Now that's good there. It's just lacking. Sometimes you'll miss, and that's where this one shines. Just the way that you can get your finger on there. Now, if you like a little bit of, if you think that's obstructive, shall we say, then the Asher, which I don't know if you're going to be able to find on the new market. I don't know if he'll ever release these again. It has a flat grind. It's not a full flat grind. That's what they call a saber grind. But the Asher definitely has a thinner blade stock. And that's one thing about this I've noticed, is how slicey it is. And I haven't really put this to the test yet. But it feels very much the same. And I don't think, guys, I think this is an N690. Got it for $45. I think this is $75 all day long. Fantastic. So I'm loving that. We'll bring out another. This is a Ray Laconico. This is a Civi Soke. And you can see that on here. So we'll see how the two stack up. What are we calling about the two different companies and their translation, if you will, of Ray Laconico designs. So let's take a peek here, kind of at the lockup and at the lock bar access. And it's a different knife, so you can't expect, you know, Civi didn't put the Ray Laconico on here. He did the Keen. I'm trying to remember. It's a mass drop. The Keen, that was a hit. Titanium, I want to say, S35. Ferrum Forge, I think, might have some Ray Laconico knives. So, see if you can see any similar design language. Kind of has a flow coming, kind of going down there. You might be able to see some similarities in what he's done with the blade. You might not, or how he terminates his plunge grind. This is an older design. The Gemini's been around for a while, so that's what we're looking at. And boy, I tell you what, this is in my top 10 for favorite knives. Just love it. And that Gemini, first impressions here, excuse me, fantastic. I'm loving that. So we're going to do it just for fun. We're going to demonstrate the the snappiness. Then we're going to bring out a big boy, and the video for this may or may not be out right now. And this is the Kizer Vanguard V3 Magnum, and it is the opposite. So it's just ironic to me. This Kizer was a 2013 release. This one would have been later. Just kind of want to show you a couple of knives that are almost on the complete opposite spectrum. I don't know how many Kizer knives are smaller than the Keen, but okay. And the excuse me, not the Keen, the Gemini. The Gemini has decent blade stock. It really does. And I'm just going to do a comparison. This is S35VN, and we'll take a peek at the blades there. So these two aren't in the same category at all. But the liner and the G10 on this are almost as thick as the whole knife here. So it's kind of fun to see, I guess, the range that Kizer can do, has done, whatever you want to consider. They're pretty talented. This is their early work. This is definitely a home run for them. They've done the Gemini in titanium. It'll have aluminum frame, so you can get aluminum scales or here. And I've seen it in, of course, Micarta. I'm not sure about G10. I bet you there's a G10 version, and there is a carbon fiber version out there. So you got it all. And this is the one that I went with. So thanks for joining me, guys.